Chapter 1. A somber overview of the cost of stardom. Have you ever considered what occurs when someone's identity is negatively impacted by their pursuit of fame and fame? We're going to tear down Hollywood's shiny exterior today and uncover a narrative that is both painful and enlightening. The terrible experiences of 10 celebrities whose bodies were destroyed by plastic surgery in their unrelenting quest for fame are examined in this video. Every part of this novel is full with honest feelings, difficult lessons, and startling revelations that will make you wonder what the true cost of beauty is. Stay with me through to the very end. We are discussing how the constant pressure to be flawless has turned some of our most recognizable celebrities into shadows of their previous selves, not just a few small tweaks here and there. So take a seat and get ready for an in-depth exploration of a world where beauty and celebrity can occasionally have disastrous consequences. Chapter 2. The Comedian Who Battled Time. Joan Rivers. First up is Joan Rivers, whose name formerly shone brightly in the comic and television industries. Joan was a trailblazer who broke numerous barriers and was well known for her bold humor and razor-sharp wit. Behind the laughter, though, she was fighting a losing war with time. Joan, who was determined to stay young forever, had countless cosmetic surgeries, including liposuction, rhinoplasties, Botox injections, and facelifts. She once admitted that her desire to combat aging drove her into a risky cycle of procedures, and that every wrinkle seemed like a failure. Her once familiar face gradually lost most of its recognition, leading the public to call her a plastic surgery disaster. Her obsession cost her not just physically, but also emotionally, causing her relationships to suffer and her last years to be tarnished. She performed with an unwavering enthusiasm, but there was no denying the toll. Joan's story serves as a heartbreaking reminder that pursuing an unattainable ideal can cause one to lose sight of who they really are. Chapter 3. From Iconic Beauty to Tragic Figure. Anna Nicole Smith. We next go on to Anna Nicole Smith, who was considered the pinnacle of beauty and glitz. As the face of Playboy, Anna gained notoriety and won people over with her stunning beauty. She did, however, resort to drastic steps to protect her reputation, as she became more and more entangled in Hollywood's brutal standards. She had weight problems after giving baby and turned to liposuction, diet pills, and exhausting workouts. These extreme actions ultimately lead to a terrible sedative and painkiller addiction. Her mental and physical health suffered greatly as a result of the demands of upholding her status, her well-publicized marriage to an older billionaire, and the ensuing public scandals. Heartbreaking catastrophes plagued her life, including her son's premature death, which only made the emotional wounds worse. The transformation of Anna Nicole Smith from a gorgeous celebrity to a tragic figure demonstrates that sometimes the cost of fame is too great, leaving a legacy of squandered potential and broken beauty. Chapter 4. The Haunted Transformation of Michael Jackson, the King of Pop. Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, whose life was characterized by both remarkable skill and a disturbing change, must be mentioned in any discussion of cosmetic excess. Michael's contagious charisma, slick dance skills, and innovative music once enthralled the world. But when his career took off, the public scrutiny of his appearance also increased. Critics noted a dramatic whitening of Jackson's complexion, and a reshaping of his features as his face gradually changed over time. He blamed these changes on vitiligo, a skin ailment, but many felt a lengthy sequence of procedures were involved. Michael fell into a vicious cycle of self-doubt and painkiller addiction as a result of the need to keep up an image of youth and perfection. Fans began to question if the guy behind the music was losing his identity as his metamorphosis became a public spectacle, garnering him nicknames like Plastic Man. Michael Jackson's tragic metamorphosis is a sobering reminder of how the unrelenting pressures of celebrity can change a true artist's spirit in addition to their appearance. Sylvester Stallone, the hardy man who couldn't get away with time, is discussed in Chapter 5. Sylvester Stallone is most recognized for his tough parts in popular films like Rocky and Rambo, in which he personified strength and stamina. Even this representation of physical strength, however, was unable to stop time's unrelenting passage. In an effort to maintain his youthful appearance, Stallone had a number of cosmetic operations, such as facelifts, Botox, and other procedures designed to soften his features and remove wrinkles. These adjustments ultimately backfired, despite the fact that they were first meant to improve his on-screen persona. Many admirers were surprised to see a once powerful action hero reduced to a figure whose attractiveness had been ruined by overzealous surgery, and critics started making fun of his increasingly unnatural appearance. In addition to the physical changes, Stallone had personal catastrophes along the way, such as the death of his kid, which only exacerbated his internal conflict. His tale serves as a reminder that even the most resilient people can succumb to the demands of upholding a flawless appearance, and that sometimes the price of making an excessive effort to resist aging is the loss of the very characteristics that made us special. Chapter 6. The Price of Perfection for the King of Rock, Elvis Presley. Once the epitome of charisma and unadulterated skill, Elvis Presley's name continues to reverberate into the corridors of music history. He was the king of rock and roll because of his contagious enthusiasm and recognizable flair. However, he followed a tragic and unsettling road as a result of the pressure to preserve his star power. Elvis was praised for his charismatic personality and natural beauty in the early years of his career. However, his dependence on cosmetic modifications grew along with the pressures of celebrity. He tried desperately to maintain that youthful appearance with stimulants, diet pills, and even cosmetic surgery. His body suffered greatly over time as a result of these procedures. His face became larger, his features changed, and the once bright spark in his eyes started to dim. The people was shocked to see how the king's metamorphosis became a warning about the perils of an uncompromising pursuit of perfection. Elvis Presley's tale serves as a powerful warning that pursuing an idealized image can have a significant, negative impact on one's looks and emotional well-being. Priscilla Presley, The Price of Maintaining Appearances, Chapter 7. Elvis Presley's makeover is well known, but Priscilla Presley, his ex-wife, also has a personal tale of cosmetic difficulties. Priscilla, who was formerly seen as a representation of elegant beauty and elegance, was under tremendous pressure to keep up a persona that would allow her to stand next to her renowned ex-husband. In an attempt to remain young and current in the years after their divorce, Priscilla resorted to cosmetic surgery. At first, simple operations like facelifts and Botox injections appeared to help her keep up her polished appearance. But as time passed, Hollywood's insistence on perfection drove her to pursue increasingly extreme actions. Her face was deformed due to a botched surgery in the early 2000s, which caused her great psychological distress and public ridicule. Her suffering was exacerbated by the media's critical assessment, and Priscilla's battles with plastic surgery served as a warning about how the demands of celebrity may skew one's perception of oneself, as well as one's appearance. Her experience serves as a reminder that striving for the perfect appearance can occasionally result in irreparable emotional and physical harm. Marilyn Monroe, The Tragic Icon of Hollywood Beauty, Chapter 8. The name Marilyn Monroe immediately conjures up visions of stunning beauty and vintage Hollywood glitz. But behind one of the most famous actresses in history's glittering appearance lurks a tragic and heartbreaking tale. Marilyn was praised in her early years for her innate beauty and beaming smile, which enthralled viewers around. Even yet, she was unable to avoid the pressures of a field that values youth and flawlessness. Monroe tried to preserve the perfect image that was required of her by undergoing cosmetic treatments, such as chin surgery and nose surgery. Even though she was considered a timeless beauty, she suffered greatly emotionally as a result of the strain to live up to an unachievable standard. Marilyn eventually suffered from despair and loneliness as a result of her over-reliance on drastic diets, sedatives, and cosmetic modifications. Her untimely death on August 5, 1962, serves as a sobering reminder that the cost of celebrity and The never-ending quest for an impossible ideal can result in severe personal loss. Marilyn's tale is one of both profound sadness and enduring glitz, a contrast that never fails to enthrall and frighten us. The High Price of Youthful Allure, Melanie Griffith and Linda Evangelista, Chapter 9. The names Linda Evangelista and Melanie Griffith have a strong resonance in the fashion and film industries. In Hollywood, these ladies were previously seen as the pinnacle of youth and beauty, but the constant pressure to uphold that image drastically changed their lives. In order to stay up with the constantly evolving standards of beauty, Melanie Griffith, who was well known for her seductive performances and striking appearance, resorted to cosmetic treatments. But over time, the treatments started to change her natural looks in ways that many fans didn't recognize. The emotional toll of broken relationships and her battles with addiction only made her metamorphosis more difficult. Once acclaimed as one of the most famous supermodels in history, Linda Evangelista struggled with cosmetic surgery. Linda had a fat-freezing operation that went horribly wrong in her quest for perpetual youth, leaving her with firm, deformable lumps that led to her being harshly branded by the media. Both women have personal experience with the bodily changes that can result from the constant pressure to stay young and perfect, which harms not only one's appearance, but also one's self-worth and general well-being. Their experiences teach us a lot about the perils of compromising one's own self in order to project an idealized image. Jocelyn Wildenstein, The Catwoman of Cosmetic Tragedy, Chapter 10. Lastly, we have Jocelyn Wildenstein, a lady whose metamorphosis has become practically legendary in and of itself. With her dazzling beauty and daring flair, Jocelyn, who was dubbed Catwoman by the media, formerly graced the uppermost echelons of New York's elite. But her marriage to a rich tycoon became a nightmare, leading her to undergo many cosmetic procedures. Jocelyn underwent a number of extreme treatments, such as cheekbone alterations, lip enhancements, and eyelid lifts, in an attempt to appease her spouse and fit in with his strange preferences. Her face gradually lost its inherent beauty and became into a representation of excessive plastic use, a hideous example of a perfectionist fixation. In addition to completely altering her looks, the incessant procedures left her with severe health problems, persistent agony, and a profound sense of loneliness. Jocelyn's tragic path serves as a potent warning about the perils of striving for cosmetic perfection and the high price of fame. It makes us confront a challenging question. At what point does the need to appear perfect cost us everything we value most? Her experience serves as a sobering reminder that genuine self-worth cannot be determined by the quantity of treatments one has undergone, and that beauty should be appreciated in its natural state. To sum up, these 10 tales expose a brutal reality that lies beneath the glittering lights of celebrity, a reality where striving for perfection can cause irreparable harm. Each story emphasizes the psychological and physical toll that constant strain may have, from Joan Rivers' never-ending struggle with aging to Jocelyn Wildenstein's terrible metamorphosis. Once praised for their innate brilliance and beauty, these superstars were caught in a vicious circle where the wish to stay young forever led to suffering, loneliness, and eventually catastrophe. Their experiences serve as significant reminders that genuine beauty stems from inner strength, honesty, and acceptance of one's own self. They are not merely cautionary tales. We appreciate you viewing this in-depth exploration of the negative aspects of Hollywood's ideals of beauty. Please take a moment to like this video and leave a comment below if you thought this exploration was as eye-opening as I did. What do you think about the expenses of trying to project the perfect image in a field that frequently prioritizes perfection over uniqueness? To ensure you don't miss any updates, subscribe and click the notification bell if you're interested in more stories that uncover the hidden realities of celebrities' life. Remember that genuine beauty is found in being authentic, and that sometimes the most crucial lesson is to accept who you are without giving in to the never-ending quest for perfection. Remain authentic, keep true to yourself, and never stop appreciating the special traits that define you.